Okay, so LSU football's hit the bye week, and it's one of the more boring points of the season because you got a whole week of your favorite team not playing, and for us, it's like, what do we talk about? Luckily, though, for us, the biggest game of the season is on the other side of this bye week. Of course, LSU at Alabama should be a top 15 matchup by the time it's on the registrar and after the end of this week is done and over with. And if you're an LSU fan, all you could ask for, especially after how the first half of the season didn't necessarily go so well, all you could ask for is to still have a chance to win the national championship, to win the SEC, and to win the SEC West heading into what I'm calling Phase 2 of the season. Now, let's start with Phase 1. So, think back to the summer. I did a quick little segment with you guys on what I called the defining stretch of the season for LSU. It started against Arkansas, and then it was Ole Miss. Then you had Auburn in there as well, and there was one other game. I'm forgetting which one it was. But the point is, throughout that stretch, I think Mississippi State on the front end. Throughout that stretch, LSU went 3-1. And I told you that if they were 3-1, 4-0 at the end of that defining stretch, this is a team that can compete for the SEC West and the SEC. And that is the situation that we're in. I know that stretch of 4 games, MSU, Arkansas, Ole Miss, Auburn, wasn't necessarily, Missouri as well, wasn't necessarily like a juggernaut of a schedule, of a stretch. But it's week after week, SEC teams, some of them better than others, some of them on the road, some of them at home. And if you go through that stretch of games, 2-2, 1-3, you have no chance of competing. So now you have the hope, you have the momentum, you've got everything you need heading into this next stretch of games, which starts with probably the peak of the mountain if you're looking at difficulty for this year's schedule on the road at Alabama. So you're feeling the best right now, you're playing the best right now, your confidence is at the highest it can be to this point. Now, if you beat Alabama, that confidence, of course, is going to skyrocket to even higher levels, but you've taken care of business. You've took some lumps. Some of them we didn't expect. I didn't expect them to lose to Ole Miss. I did expect them to lose to Florida State, but not necessarily in the fashion they did. You took those L's, all right? You went back to the drawing board. You learned from them. You made yourself a better team because of it, and now you're in a better position to win these big games against Alabama, against Florida, against Texas A&M here in the closing stretch of the season. So we've been following the SEC West for the past couple of weeks because I said it's probably going to be chaos. Like, if LSU beats Alabama, you still got Ole Miss hanging around. A&M's got 2 losses. They're kind of still in the picture. What if they run the table? It's kind of crazy. Here's an update at what it is. So, Alabama's leading the division right now, 7-1, 5-0 in conference. LSU's right behind, 6-2, 4-1. Then Ole Miss, 6-1, 3-1 in conference. And then A&M is kind of on the outside looking in. If they have one more loss, they're donezo. But we're kind of including them in the discussion because 2-2, you're kind of still in there. You're only really 1.5 games behind, really, at this point. So, with that, Bama, of course, plays LSU. That is the SEC West Super Bowl. That's what I'm calling it. We're going to have a special on WAFB the Thursday before the game. So, next Thursday, previewing it, going in depth on it because it's the game of the season for the Tigers. It's probably the game of the season for the Tide as well. The winner of that game takes, I guess, sole control of the SEC West. It's weird because you got the Ole Miss factor, right? They beat LSU a few weeks ago. They've just got that one conference loss to Alabama, actually. So if LSU beats Alabama, LSU's played one more conference game than Ole Miss. But if it were to end up a one-loss SEC LSU team and a one-loss SEC Ole Miss team, then the Rebels would get the go-ahead because they beat LSU head-to-head, right? Remaining schedule for the Tigers, already said it, Bama, Florida, A&M, one final road game in Tuscaloosa. For Ole Miss, they've got Vanderbilt, Texas A&M at home, on the road at Georgia, and then on the road at Mississippi State, which is always a crazy game. So if Ole Miss loses any of those games, the likely ones I'd say are Georgia and A&M and Mississippi State are possible. I wouldn't necessarily say it's 50%, above 50% that they would lose those games. Here's what you need. I'll make it very simple if you're LSU. Win at Alabama. And you need Ole Miss to lose one game. If Ole Miss loses to Georgia and LSU wins every game the rest of the year, the Tigers are the SEC West Division champs. It's as simple as that. So take care of your own business. Go to Tuscaloosa. Beat Alabama. and become big Georgia fans when the time comes for Ole Miss to play the Bulldogs, because you need one more Ole Miss loss. That's basically the situation. You control your own destiny in some respects, and you're going to need a little bit of help in other respects. You go to Alabama, you lose, none of that even matters. So, let Ole Miss play this week against Vanderbilt. Probably a win, but Vandy's played some teams tough. And then 2 weeks from now, you go, handle your business, and we'll see what happens in the external factors and what may apply. That's the situation right now. All you could ask for is to have control of your own destiny. LSU has it in a way, but again, they'll need a little bit of help, and we'll have that discussion as the season plays out.